couple of months ago, I made a video showing how I 3D printed this part for the tool post grinder on my lathe. And I got some comments on that video telling me that I did it wrong. And those commenters were correct. Welcome back to Cloud42, I'm James. Well, in a previous video, I showed how I 3D printed this part. This is a multi-fix tool post holder for my tool post grinder to fit on the size A multi-fix tool post on my lathe. And it worked a treat. I mean, obviously it worked. In another recent video, you saw me actually use this with a threading tool to cut threads. But the purpose of that video was to show a technique for printing the part standing up on an edge. And I won't go into all the details of that. I'll put up a link to the previous video and you can check that out if you want. But the downside of that is that it leaves little blemishes on the part where the support material was attached. Let me bring you in closer and show you what I'm talking about. This is the part in question. This is not actually the one. This is another one that I printed during the prototyping process, but this is a multi-fix tool holder for my tool post grinder on the lathe. And you'll remember that we printed this standing up on the bed, standing up on this chamfer with designed support underneath it to allow it to print at a 45-degree angle, even though we had a very, very small contact patch on the bed, and then the support broke off at the end. But you'll also remember that it left behind this little row of blemishes in the part. And these are just the little bridges that were connecting this part to the support. And so they provided support while it was printing, kept it stable even though it had a very, very small contact patch. And then when it broke away, it left those marks on the part. And I got a comment on that video telling me that I was doing it wrong, that I should not model this as bridges between the support and the part, because those bridges are going to break and they're going to leave behind these little marks. And sure enough, I mean, that's undeniable. But what they told me in the comment is instead I should model little bumps on this part that just touch the part to be supported, but are not actually connected to it, so that the printer will print a little knob that just barely touches it, and that should be enough to stick to it without it fully being connected, so there's not a little pip of plastic. The actual side of the part will be smooth and the support will just touch it and stick to it, but won't actually be a part of it, so that it will break away cleanly. And I did some testing and sure enough, it actually works. This was the first test that I ran with the part modeled so that the support was a separate component and it just barely touched, and when it broke away, I cannot see where it was attached. If I look very, very closely under the microscope, I might be able to tell. This is PLA carbon fiber, which helps to hide any blemishes in the surface, but this is the same material, same roll of filament, and you can see it did nothing to hide those little breakaway marks. So in that comment thread, I did reply and report that yes, I tried it and it worked great, and I got somebody else that jumped in and said, hey, could you please do a video and show in the software specifically how you actually did that. So let's go into the software and let me show you how I actually did that. This is the original model that I showed in the last video. You can see this is the clamp and this is the support rib that I designed to support it on the bed while printing. And the support rib is connected by these little tiny plastic extrusions that extend from the sharp edge of that rib over to the base of the part. And that's enough to just keep it from falling over, and it resulted in successful prints, but of course that left little marks on the part. So instead of actually having this connected, you can see this is all one body in Fusion, we want to make this two separate bodies so that the support rib just has little bumps that go over and touch the part, but aren't actually connected to it. Now, one of the things that could make this difficult is these parts are printed just out into space, and they're not very long, right? The space between the rib and the part itself is only 0.5 millimeter, and that's not a lot, but that means that the rib itself ends up being 0.7 millimeters long because it's at a 45-degree angle, and I was a little bit worried that if I just started extruding out into space, those would kind of droop and I wouldn't really get very good contact. So the first thing that I did is just to make that gap smaller. So I can go in here and edit the sketch, and that's currently minus 0.5 millimeters. Change that to 0.25 millimeters. and that gives us a much, much shorter rib. And I really don't think this is going to droop, and in practice, it actually doesn't. And that ends up being a pretty good dimension for these parts. The second thing we need to do is split this into two pieces so that the slicer can print them separately, touching but not connected. So to do that, we'll just use the split body command here. We'll select the body to split, and for the splitting tool, we'll just select this underside surface and click OK. And that splits us into two separate bodies, one for the clamp and one for the support. And then to actually get this to export in a file as two separate bodies, I'll just select both of those bodies and right click and say create components from bodies, and I'll give them names, clamp and support. And then to export this into a form that the slicer can deal with, we'll just right click on the project, say export, and select a step file. And the step file has internal structure, so it will have the clamp and the support as separate objects so that the slicer can deal with them and recognize them as separate pieces, and we don't have to do any fancy cutting or anything in the slicer. I'm printing these on the Bamboo Lab H2S, so I have Bamboo Studio up here, and I will just click Add, and I will add the step file to my project. And that just brings this in as a single part. It actually knows about the two separate parts, but for now they're connected, and we want to get this oriented while they're still connected. So I'll select that, click Lay on Face, click the face I want, and now we have that oriented on the bed. Now, if you want to move this around, I would suggest doing it now before we split it into two parts so that the parts don't lose their relationship to one another. Now, if we just take this as it is right now and click Slice, it'll do exactly what it did previously, and it will actually connect them. So if we look at the layers as it's building them up, you can see right here is the connection between the rib and the part itself. And you can see that this extrusion comes around. And if I back this up and step through it, you can see that it's coming along with the extrusion on the part, and then it turns and comes across to the rib, goes around the rib, and then comes back to the part, and then continues the perimeter. So we have an extrusion going across the gap that is continuous through the part and the rib, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So if we come back over here to the Prepare tab and go down here under Process, and right now Global is selected. If I click Objects, then it gives me the tree, showing the step file with the two objects inside of it. And if I just right-click and say Split to Objects, now you can see that the top-level step file is gone, and we just have the two separate objects. And if I just grab one of these, I can move it. Of course, we don't want to move it, so I'll hit Control-Z and put that back. The point being, these are two separate objects. So now if I slice it, it will slice them and not connect them. So coming down here and looking closely at that same layer, you can see that we have the outside perimeter of the part, and then we have the outside perimeter of the support, and they are touching, but they're not actually connected. So if I bring this back, you can see now that the extrusion's already been laid down. If I step through this extrusion by extrusion, the outside wall of the part is continuous, and then the extruder is going to come along and lay down the outside perimeters of the support. And when it gets to this point, it goes across towards the part, turns around, and comes back. So that extrusion is actually touching the part, even though it barely looks like it in the slicer. It is touching it, but it's not connected, so it should break away cleanly. So I went ahead and put two of these on the bed, and I have cut one of them into two pieces, and I have left the other one connected. I'll send both of them to the printer, and we'll see what happens. This should give us a good side-by-side comparison because we know that all of the other printing parameters were the same, printed on the same bed at the same time with the same roll of filament. These have been just sitting here on the printer cooling, and the bed is completely cold, so they should just pop off. First impressions, I can't see any difference between them. Kind of looking at the back side here, it looks like the support is fully adhered. I don't see any lifting in the corners, so I think both methods work. They should just pop off. Okay, and that one just came off the bed, and I'm pretty sure that is the one with the bridging support. Well, I don't know. They both just came off the bed. Let's take them down to the bench, pull the support off, and see how we did. These are the parts right off of the printer. Now, when I pulled these off the bed, I was a little bit confused because when I pulled this test part off, the support just stayed behind on the printer bed. It didn't actually stick to the part at all, and I was expecting that to happen again, but it didn't. It actually came off with the part. So I'm not totally sure which one of these is which. I think this is the new one. And in fact, you can see that just fell away. And I don't know if you can see any marks on there. Maybe if I look really close and use my imagination, I can just barely see them. I definitely can't feel them. And this is the one that has the bridges. And yeah, you can see that definitely leaves behind the marks. So the commenters were definitely right. That does make a world of difference. Now, I was a little bit concerned that this wasn't actually going to stick well enough, that, you know, because it was just barely touching, and man, if you look at it in the slicer, it really doesn't look like it's making very much contact or any contact at all. And so with this whole part standing up, only sitting on this one little chamfer, I was just sure the thing was going to fall over. Now, you'll also note that when I printed these parts, or when I printed the original part in the original video, I had a great big brim around this as well. And you can see that I've done away with that. Turns out it's not necessary. And I found that out when I printed one of the prototypes and forgot to add the brim, and it worked just fine. So this much surface area on the bed is enough to anchor the part for those first few layers until it connects to the support. And so then you've got that chamfer and this base on the bed, and that holds the whole thing until you start getting high enough and you start getting the other support material under these other edges. Now, that'll of course help to stabilize it, but you get quite a ways up the part before there's really very much of that there. So I've been pretty pleased with the bed adhesion and the performance of this material. Getting this to stick on the bed, I mean, I was impressed. And this is a technique that I will definitely use in the future. So in case you wondered, I really do read the comments, and I often learn something, and occasionally it's something really valuable that I can use, like this. So keep those comments coming. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you found this useful, and as always, a big thank you to all of you who support the channel on Patreon. You make it possible for me to do this. Thank you for watching.